Welcome to the Pod Bay Door.
Hello out there in the verse. This is the Pod Bay Door. Please join us every Tuesday for informed discussions on new and upcoming movies, games, and tech. And if you love Las Vegas, stay tuned because as Vegas insiders, we can give you a unique perspective on its history, provide insider information, and reveal the unknown secrets of our town, Vegas. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. We're glad you're with us. And hey, if you get the chance, subscribe to us and give us a review on your favorite podcast platform. Also check in with us on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast.
What is a podcast?
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
Run, Forrest, run!
You are one pathetic loser.
Talking to me?
I know Kung Fu.
Hey, welcome everybody, the podbaydoor.com. Coming up on this episode, we are going to discuss what it's like to arrive in Las Vegas. I had a couple of people write into me, and they're coming to Las Vegas, and they want the truth as to what to expect. So we're going to give you some intel on that. We're going to talk about Hellboy First Look and the iPhone 10. And, of course, the Topless Report, Nerd Alert, Gear Grinders, and Area 52. Adam and Sam are with me. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, Jamey?
We're getting a lot of comments, and I can't tell you how much I love that. A lot of show suggestions, which I try to put in there. But please continue that. Again, it's podbaydoor.com and every social network you can imagine. So look out for us there. Terry Nam4 commented off of Tumblr, which way in the back of the closet. Does anybody use Tumblr?
I do not.
Yeah.
But some people do. So
I don't
as
know.
long as we're on a present on it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's just somebody was joking about Tumblr and Tinder. It's like, I got it
Like close
confused.
enough.
I'm like,
I like
wait a
that.
minute, don't you have sex on Tumblr?
I don't even know the difference.
And Terry Nam4 says, thanks for being my Vegas Nerd Connect. Well, you can thank Adam and Sam for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Try.
She wants more stories about dancers. Well, you know what? I've got... We're going to have a hiatus period coming up, and I'll update you on the dates for that. But right after that, we're going to talk to several of my friends. We're going to bring them from the shows, and I'm making every effort to do a remote location on the stage of one of the shows. So we are definitely going to be talking about dancers. I'm assuming she's talking about...
Professional, not exotic.
The
classy one. The classy dancers.
Yeah. But Terry Nam4, thank you so much for the comment. And Dave off of WordPress. Now, WordPress, the reason it's only one name, WordPress actually connects by email, so I'm not going to say emails on the show here. But Dave commented, by far my favorite podcast. That's fantastic.
Sweet.
There are a ton of them out there, trust me, and every day there seems to be more. And he was mentioning he would love for us to talk about an honest explanation of players, clubs, the cards, the procedures, but the honest stuff about that. Sam,
Yes.
being a pit clerk.
Yeah.
Yes, that was your title.
Plus, I also worked at a players club.
You worked at a players club.
Unfortunately,
we have a guy.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the unfiltered view right here.
Big Sriracha Sam is our resident expert. Plus, I have a friend that is able to give us some intel on that as well. That'll be on another show, but we are definitely going to get that. So that's great. I didn't. Did I know that? Limos,
possibly.
pit clerk.
Maybe
and
not
then
about the
a
players.
little bit of everything.
Where were you part of a players club?
Where you were at?
The Venetian?
Yes, sir.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I said unfortunately.
All right. Well.
So you know the
We
clientele.
did some of the dumbest giveaways ever.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I know. And like Thanksgiving are a big giveaway, and
That's right. Huh?
yeah, they give away like
Turkey plates.
You don't. No. You don't
Right.
understand how people get so angry about the turkey. It's like
Yeah.
I understand you
Oh, I
to get to
know.
your points, but it's not my fault. You're not there yet.
Oh, yeah.
You have to spend the money. It's not my fault. So
Trust me. I know.
basically,
Like
all
I
the
can't just
yeah.
pull a turkey out of behind me
Yeah.
and give you a turkey. I'm sorry.
I explained to him like, no, I don't give you the turkey here. I give you a voucher to take to Vaughn's to get the turkey.
Because you got a box of frozen turkeys right there.
That's what I'm saying.
How people think that.
Genius.
Yeah, but that's fantastic. I didn't know that. So, Dave, we've got a guy. I got a guy. And he's right there. But thank you so much, everybody, for your comments. Again, podbaydoor.com. Hit us up anywhere. Topless Report, where are they naked now? It's not themed this time. We're just talking about just general nakedness. So, did you guys know? And I checked this out because a lot of people say we're the world's largest this, largest that. That Sapphire, a club, gentleman's club here in Las Vegas, I have been to a couple of times. Sorry, Mom. Is actually the world's largest gentleman's club based on square footage at 70,000 square feet.
Good Lord.
70,000 square feet of booze and boobs.
Yeah, it's a lot of square feet.
You know what?
Little side note. Has a wonderful restaurant next door.
Has a wonderful restaurant next door. Does it still have a restaurant next door?
Yeah. There's still a restaurant there. They're connected to Sapphire.
Nice.
And it's one of those like indie restaurants where it's a mom and pop type style. Yeah. And it's tacos and stuff. Yeah. It's really, really good there. I was surprised. I was like, because I was invited there once for dinner. I'm like, wait, next to Sapphire? They're like, yeah, it's like Sapphire. I was like,
You're like,
okay.
Is the right type of tacos we're talking about?
Right. These fishy tacos?
Yeah.
No?
Nice.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Wow, tacos, booze, and boobs. Yeah. God bless America.
The American dream.
Right next to it.
There you go.
Gotta love it.
But
we're just missing explosions for you, though.
That's right.
Just a little bit of explosions.
There's enough boobs.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah,
there's
a sliding scale.
Exactly. It's a flow chart. Okay, but however, there's some interesting. I didn't realize this. Sapphire's had some difficulties in the past decade. Actually, a couple like 6 years ago, there was a huge lawsuit that, unfortunately, thanks Adam, that was settled in the favor of the dancers. It had to do with the fact that they were claiming that they were indeed employees, and the Sapphires, the club, their claim was that they were not employees, that they had no intention of being employees, and therefore
they didn't deserve the benefits.
They didn't deserve the benefits. They didn't deserve the proper pay. They didn't deserve anything because they were contracted or subcontracted. Very similar
to what we were talking about, the gig economy.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Really. And the state Supreme Court said, "Oh no, they had every intention of being employees. They are employees." And millions of dollars changed hands on that one. Yeah. That was pretty bad. But still there. Sapphires is still there. Actually survived the crash. A lot of the clubs went by the wayside.
How many levels is that? Do you know?
Oh Lord, it was
70,000. I assume it's at least two.
It was two. It was two levels. I don't believe they've made any improvements since I've been there. It's been a while, but there were two, and they also began. They had a buffet, which must have been maybe the restaurant next door. Maybe that's how they did it, because they don't have a kitchen.
Yeah.
And they also had, and for the ladies, they had gentlemen
male
dancers. Yeah,
right?
I believe that is still the case. But Sapphire is the world's largest gentleman's club.
Plus, during I think the summertime, it's a day club too nowadays. Like they have all the folks come out.
Yeah, we mentioned that on another show. They have a pool thing.
That's a big draw.
Yeah,
that's right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Secondly, in the Topless Report, I love this one. This one reminded me of Adam and his friends and Sam. Sam would probably be a judge in this particular situation. Right. There was a group of male college students. I was unable to find out which college. They were just referred to as college students. That were hosting a wet T-shirt contest on the Strip. Just by themselves, and they actually got girls to do it. It was unsanctioned, unlicensed,
no license,
and
right?
yes, and it was put to a quick halt. But they what kills me is they actually got girls to do it. You know?
Did they have cameras? Cell phones,
I'm sure it's
yeah.
on cell phones.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's already shot.
Yeah, but I love it. I love the entrepreneurial nature of it.
Sure.
I don't believe they were accepting money. That would have been
there must have been a smooth talker in the group too.
Oh yeah, there was a Rico Suave there for sure.
And where did all the water come from?
I don't know.
They probably brought it on the Strip for $1 a bottle. Those
They're
people
like
sell
mini
it.
bottles, They're only like 3 inches
Well,
worth of water.
in the article, there was mention that they used the ice buckets of the hotel, and they were in front of their own hotel. They were mid-strip, and it did mention the hotel. The Las Vegas marketing machine is very careful about what
putting
goes
out
out.
names.
Yeah, what goes out. So this one was a really quick below the fold page 6 article. But yeah, and, more power to them. If you can do that,
Yeah.
I mean, you're right though. There had to have been a guy there that was running a line.
Sure. Yeah.
But
well, hey, you come to Vegas, you got to try something, right?
That's right.
You got to get your story somewhere.
So, and of course, what happened? How did the police get involved? What do you think? What's your guess?
I'm guessing
It's the same way they always get involved when it comes to nudity.
Somebody complained, I guess.
Somebody with a child.
Oh,
Of course.
Yes.
my little boy can't see these.
That's right. Little Johnny was being corrupted by the the
Yeah, but why are they
UC
on the
Berkeley
strip,
kids.
right?
Well, it's like you're in Vegas. You know that, right? Like,
Yeah, I know.
Why are the kids on the strip?
It's like I say, it's not Connecticut.
Even better, what time was it? Because if it was after curfew, that's the mom's fault.
It was evening. The sun was down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, on the
But-
strip at dark.
but the kid's got to learn sometime. Come on.
Right?
It's either he learns now
He
or
can
he
learn
grabs
on the internet.
or he grabs a smartphone. Yeah,
Yeah.
and learns it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But again, you can see most amazing things here in Las Vegas, and it didn't hurt anybody. And the girls were willing. No money was exchanged. They probably would have been naked anyway. They just
They were just
they
getting
just
there.
helped them down the path.
Yeah, I mean,
know?
if you go into a casino, you probably could have found one anyway.
That's right. That's right, exactly.
Well,
And
especially at 2 in the morning, 3 in the
yeah.
morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
and I'm
They're
sure
like blondies or something.
Yeah, and I'm sure the devil's weed and drink was involved somewhere in there. So
the devil's spice.
the devil's spice.
Oh no, it's called the devil's lettuce. Ed Flanders.
Devil's lettuce. Wow. Now that brings up thoughts of veganism. No.
he doesn't like lettuce, so
Yeah, I don't like lettuce. They're doing this whole diet thing. It's killing me because I don't like lettuce.
yeah.
But I'm 2 months in. 60,
I'm impressed.
60 days, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good to hear.
Not bad.
I'm sure you have way more energy than you used to.
You know what I do? I was an energetic person. I was pretty healthy to begin with, but yeah, I do. I have to say,
Nice.
It's definitely more energy. Can't sleep for shit still, but it's
That's a whole nother thing.
it's the way it is. Yeah, it's the way of the world. Nerd alert, Adam.
Nerd alert. We had talked about Cassini in the past, and this is a satellite they sent up to take a look at Saturn. And it was up there for 20 years, and it actually just ran out of fuel, and they plunged it into Saturn on yesterday.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Cassini. So 20 years of some HD photography, and it was surveying all the moons. We learned a lot of cool data.
Definitely.
We definitely talked about the storms.
And we also
the
learned that
poles.
apparently it's okay to litter in space too.
Yeah.
It's not a battery.
gonna say.
Throw it away.
Leave it to our global society to crash into another
Very,
planet.
very
and
American
leave
of
it
us.
there.
We'll just leave this here.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
This is how we say hi from Earth.
Yeah.
Hi, Saturn.
Levi
We're just gonna-
trash.
That's right.
That's funny.
Now, what was its total mission time? Do you know?
It was up there for 20 years. I'm not sure exactly
Okay.
how. I think it was surveying for around 12 to 15, something around there.
So I mean, it's close to being proper to call it decades. It was up there a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
NASA definitely got their money's worth on this big time. For 20 years.
Yeah, and so some of the cool things that it found were on the biggest moon of Titan. They actually landed a probe there, and that's the first probe that's landed in what did they call it? The outer solar system.
Okay.
So that was a first. It has the largest collection of moons, over 60, and one of them called Enceladus. Has an icy surface with water underneath, so they think that it's possible that there
life
could be
form.
alien life there.
Very nice.
We don't, and there's also another. What did I? There was another moon, I believe, of Jupiter that has water too. So a couple of different places that could have alien life because of water.
See,
But I made a horrible joke though in our group chat. I'm like, if there's alien life, be careful because someone put up a wall around it, out in space.
or they box up and FedEx our shit back to us. That'd be fun. But
They're like, here, you guys can have the scrap metal. We don't need it, thanks.
Here's this silly toy.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of space, and I know this is jumping ahead, but speaking of space, we had mentioned on an earlier podcast the Orville. Did anybody watch that?
I did.
Oh, it was hysterical. I loved it.
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was great.
I also had a friend, John, who thought it was quote unquote unwatchable. So,
oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah. So there's both sides of the story. I thought it was hilarious.
To me, Orville hit all the marks because like it's a very Seth MacFarlane show, but live action. So
if you didn't like Family Guy or whatever, you might not get the comedy here.
Yeah.
But I thought.
But you can tell it's his passion project. Like he really cared about it. I'll bet you anything he fought really hard to get Patrick Stewart, but he's like, probably can't get him on
maybe
here.
later.
Yeah.
Oh, it just takes a couple of
right?
successful episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Stewart will come out for sure. But no, I thought, and the production quality was great. I mean, it is still incredibly expensive to do the stuff that they did. Yeah. And, I thought it absolutely had the feel of a Deep Space Nine. And
like
those
an old
things.
kind of Star Trek-y vibe to
well,
it.
with
like
a
little Galaxy Quest.
with a sprinkle of Galaxy Quest too, for sure.
But no, I thought it was fantastic.
The alien races looked good. The ship looked cool.
Yeah.
The dialogue between the two captains, I think, is going to be like. Who, I think Sam, you were the one that said like Scrubs. Like the dynamic between
the witty
two
banter,
doctors, right? The same kind of dynamic between the two pilots.
Yeah. No, I thought it had just enough Seth MacFarlane to be funny, where he didn't just dominate everything. They had a hot chick, obviously, from John
really
Wick
like
and from
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she's fantastic. And all the character actors, they're fantastic. And even the guy that was sort of Michael Doran's character, it's a black guy into there, and he's very stoic.
Yes.
No, I thought it was fantastic. John's just upset about living in California.
Probably.
But don't forget, guys, he's a Steelers fan.
Yeah, well, he's a displaced East Coast guy stuck in L.A. and he just hates everything now.
See, he needs to move back to Vegas.
That's all come back, John. We're
back into the fold, sir.
That's right. We need you to enjoy life again. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that's pretty much it on Cassini. We wanted to cover the newest, biggest, coolest phone.
Boo.
The iPhone X.
All these haters.
Boo.
I'm agreeing with Jamey here. Boo. Sam's
anyways, go ahead. Go enjoy and hate.
Sam will be the opposite side of this.
Sam's got an iPhone 7.
He's got the 7.
Jamey has a Droid Turbo 2.
And I actually have the same phone.
And
Jamey and I are both anti-Apple. We don't like any product by them.
That's right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna lose any sleep.
So Sam, what's better about the 10?
Yeah, what's good about it? And I've
got you guys gonna do your negative first. Go do your negatives. I'll
you want bad news first?
Sure, bad news bears. Go for it.
All right, where do I start?
I got some really technical stuff, so let's do yours.
All right, well, I just want to start with some things that are new with this phone.
Okay.
All right, let's start with this. They put out the 8 and the 10 at the same time.
Yes.
All right, so the specs are out for both.
Yeah.
And they are very similar.
Yeah.
In pretty much every case, except for a couple, and that is
especially the freaking price tag. That's
especially
ridiculous.
Price tag. We'll get there, Sam. We'll get there.
Which I think.
Don't let us cover the negatives, Sam. All right.
Yeah, putting out 2, I think, is spectacularly confident of them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they still claim the global market that they think.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So the new thing on this one is it has Face ID. Yes. Instead of a fingerprint ID.
Yes.
So it actually has a pretty good camera in it that will render a 3D, mapping. So you can actually get that if it works, because I saw that it didn't work on the very first live test of the Face ID.
That was my
funny.
note, and my note says it's slow.
to process your face.
Right.
So to actually get into your phone is a lot slower than just tapping your finger.
Yes.
Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Which there is no home button now for this phone.
Oh, okay.
It's back and front screens,
Glass
right?
facing.
So you can break both sides now.
And then it's a charging pad now. It's not even
like the whole thing's a charging pad?
Yeah.
So you don't have a charger at all? That I didn't know. So you need the charging pad for it, though, right?
Yeah, it's going like the ways of Samsung when they had the charging pad for their phones too.
Yeah.
So it's using that method. So
that's another negative note that I had is that
fan.
they've created the you have to buy a new adapter for power. You have to buy a new adapter to connect it to the iPad. You have to buy a new adapter,
Right.
new adapter, new adapter.
Yes, like this is a brand
After
new
after you spend
venture for them.
$1,000.
After spending a grand.
And that's just for
and that's the
base
64,
price.
for 64
Yeah,
gig.
so for 64 gigs. So
Yeah.
for a 256 gig upgrade,
Exactly.
another $150. So now you're paying $1,150 for this phone.
Right.
Hopefully, you know people
That's
that
ridiculous.
that things fall off a truck.
Yeah, no kidding,
Yeah.
right? You got 5-finger discounts. The only way you're going to get this phone on a minimum wage job.
Right.
Oh wait, but don't forget that they're gonna raise minimum wage to 15 now. Remember?
Well,
they're gonna
it's the
raise-
only way you're going to get this phone.
That's right.
So the iPhone 8's base price is $700.
Okay.
The 8 Plus is $800.
Okay.
And $1,000 for iPhone 10.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much the same specs on all levels here.
Yes.
Not quite sure. You had some tech specs, right?
Well, I got some tech specs. First thing is that the iPhone 10 is, they are considering it, and the market is considering it, a first-gen product. It is the brand new product. It is not, they do not want it called a rollover from 8 or 7. They want it to be a new product.
What happened to 9, by the way?
I don't know what happened to the 9.
The running joke is 7, 8, 9.
There you go.
I'll be here all week.
But the iPhone 10 is supposed to be the next 10-year design model.
Yeah.
So
it's like a
there's-
whole new phase, right?
Yeah, a whole new phase. It's a first gen though, which is usually buggy.
Yeah.
$1,200 price tag, of course. That now, unfortunately, instead of just owning up to it and saying, "Yeah, it's worth it. It's an amazing product," they put it off on the NAND flash shortage that they themselves caused. And so they're saying, well, it's everybody else's fault because we couldn't get the product.
We're jacking the prices up because we can't get the product.
Yeah, and one of the major design flaws that they already are talking about is the cutout sensor bar. Which affects the screen, and now they have outside developers that are figuring out how to go around this little tiny cutout sensor bar, and so that affects your screen. So that automatically affects your screen size.
Sure.
And because it's bigger, it's taller, but it's thinner. And so it's actually going to be cropped content. The 7 will produce a larger photograph in total viewable pixels than the 10.
Right.
Yeah. So it's pretty amazing.
Interesting.
And lastly, then it as compared to the Note, which I've never had a Note, whether it was on fire or not, it's not as bright. They determine there is a unit of measurement for how bright it is called a nit. iPhone 10, 650, the Note 1250. So it's significantly not brighter than that. But beyond that, it's the price.
Yeah.
$1,200, after tax, I don't know. And minimum wage, kids aren't buying this. No way.
Now, I had some stats here up against the Galaxy S8. And the Galaxy has, it already had the face scanning thing, although it's not 3D.
Right.
It has a better resolution in pixels. It's got a gig more of RAM. It's got micro SD storage where the iPhone doesn't. And it's only $750. And that's Galaxy's top of the line.
So what do you think, Sam? You're an
owner.
Well,
as an iPhone user, I usually wait for a while to buy new stuff because I went from a 4
to the 6 or the 7.
Well, I went from a 4 to a 7.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wait a long time.
So you're not the one that's going to go out and buy the new phone every year.
I'm not the first gen guy because
there are
I know
those
all
people.
the bugs. Oh yeah, definitely. But I'd rather see all the kinks work out first, and then maybe I'll look into it if the price drops. But I'm not going to spend a full grand on that. That's
no, because I mean,
Mm.
I would say out of 10 people, there's maybe one guy that's got $1,000 burning a hole in his pocket.
Right.
I mean,
and he's the guy that has all the
has
new
to have
iPhones.
the thing. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'll ask John when he buys a new iPhone. I'll ask John how it is.
Well, he'll hate it
Yeah,
because
he
he's in
might
LA.
Yeah. Now we got to ask Comboy. Didn't Comboy always get all the phones?
I think he's a Samsung user now. I'm not sure.
That'd be funny.
I'm not sure. I have to double check.
He was one back in the day that always had the
he
new
had
iPhone.
everything. He always had everything brand new.
Yeah.
Even the watches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I must shake my head on that one. The watches are just whatever.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get the iPhone. It seems to be. It seems to me like it's like a Madden product where they only they'll adjust one small thing and they'll just throw out the the next year.
Right.
Year after year after year, and it only gets minutely better.
Yeah.
Well, it gets better than Romo. I mean, after years and years.
Right.
I'll get you for that, Sam.
Okay. Hey, I'm playing my first game this week. Okay, listen.
Yeah, right?
Hurricane Irma took out my first game. All right,
Yeah, Bucks fan.
we had a bye week.
True,
Week 1, that's gonna be brutal for your team.
Oh yeah,
No
just a
bye
little
week?
bit.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
ugh.
No bye week at
Yeah.
all.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll get back to everybody. I want to see what the market says about the iPhone.
Yeah, we'll have to
10.
see the numbers, how they.
Well, I was
jump
waiting for something a little more like to stick out to me, like to be like a wow. But everything just seems very bland right now.
That's minute
know?
changes, Like,
It's-
your OS for this phone is very comparable to the 8, and
Right.
which is almost the same one as the 10.
The thing about the face recognition, all that to unlock it.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about like where's all that data go? Because
Dude,
someone
we were
has to
just talking
decipher
to-
where all the
Exactly.
data.
We were
Yeah.
just talking about the gaydar, right?
Yeah, it goes to
So-
it goes to Echelon over at the NSA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going to stop these phones from using Face ID to like lock you out when they think you're,
Yeah.
a Republican or don't make 10,000 a year?
Or if there's something
whatever it is,
something severe going on, they
Yeah.
need to work. Like I feel like personally, it's coming closer to person of interest. Like
Oh,
all
no,
the technology,
absolutely.
like we're
Absolutely.
heading that way.
Oh,
We're heading that way.
absolutely.
It's
I just
that.
I can't confirm this. I'm assuming it's something that can be toggled off. Can you just and not have a lock?
You'll probably have to pay
I don't
extra.
know.
You'll probably have to pay
Right.
extra.
Yeah.
That's the
exactly.
option for that one.
Yeah, that's
Or
funny.
there's an app for that.
Yeah,
right.
There's an app.
Download it.
All right. Well, we'll
But
get back to you on the
I'm
old
sure either
iPhone.
way, Apple will make a killing
Oh, yeah.
with this.
So you're
All
gonna
right.
hold off on it, Sam?
I'm good because they already emailed me with all the pre-orders from AT&T, and then I get a mailing list from IGN.com, and they broke down the list of all the pre-orders from all the cellular companies.
Okay.
And it seems like everybody wants you to put down at least
Half of it.
$7.99 down. I was like, that's crazy.
Nah, you
For
gotta.
a pre-order?
I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm like, I appreciate the product because it's an
Yeah.
easy interface, but I just want to see all the kinks worked out first because there's gonna be a lot of kinks for sure.
I don't understand paying. Honestly, I'm getting to the point where I'm out of that particular tech area. I don't understand paying for a phone. I got mine for free.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
I signed up
I
for
think
whatever.
mine was a 2-year contract,
Yeah.
and I got it for like less than 100.
Yeah, I'm with Verizon, and
Yeah.
I signed whatever half-assed 2-year thing, and
Yeah.
I got
And
I
Jamie
got,
and I are no slouches with technology. We've looked
Yeah.
up, tech specs, and this phone is very,
It's fantastic.
it's very good for
so
what it's worth.
I wouldn't even $750. You're not
Yeah,
you're not
I'm not paying
getting me out of the
$750 a
house
phone.
for that.
No,
Yeah,
hell no.
exactly.
I'm not even paying $500 for the top of the line.
No,
that's
but
still too much.
I'm just waiting for the social experiment, and no one cares about this, but for half the country saying iPhone X, the other half saying iPhone 10.
Yeah.
And why you're saying iPhone X because you don't know the Roman numeral 10?
Right.
I mean, it's a social experiment.
Well,
that I
here's
just
the
love.
question. It's going to be a new line, you said, right?
Right.
So is it specifically the iPhone X? Is that the brand? So
Yeah.
that they'll go next as X1,
X1,
X2,
X2, yeah.
X3? So there won't be 10, 11, 12?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know.
Maybe that'll be their rebranding.
It's an iPhone Millennial.
That's right. That's right.
iPhone M.
It comes with a hipster coaster, and then it comes with like a fake beard for your phone. It's gonna look cool.
The Beard app.
I think there's this giant book that Steve Jobs left for Apple, almost like L. Ron Hubbard, with all these instructions and what to do for the next 20
You guys
years.
follow these instructions specifically, I'll come back for you.
That's right. That's right.
Here's how you're going to make, Apple the best company in the world.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Adam.
like
We
I
got.
said, we're
What do
gonna-
we got coming
All
up?
right, so next we got Hellboy. Put out some first image, promo image of
Yay, Hellboy.
It looks really good.
It looked really cool.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to the first one,
The
first
original?
Hellboy.
With
but
Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman.
Ron
A
Perlman.
little darker, a little more kind of metalish influence in his arm.
Plus, this one they're gonna take the radar route this time.
Yeah,
Yeah. So they changed it up big time.
sure. Rated R is like the new thing. So
Right.
And then the main baddie is oh my god, I'm blanking out.
Well, we got
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mila Jovovich and
Ian McShane and Daniel
McShane.
Day Kim just signed up.
I was getting there. They had a whole controversy with the whitewashing of Asian roles, right?
Yep.
So Ed Skrein. I don't
Yeah,
know
he
what
was
the
on
name is.
Deadpool.
Yeah, he was from Deadpool, but he dropped out of the role of Major Ben Daimyo,
Okay.
which was one of their
It's a Japanese character.
Japanese influenced characters.
And surprisingly, it went to Japanese guys.
yeah, and
so.
they hired on
Korean guy.
Daniel Day Kim to
Yeah.
do the role, who's from Lost.
Yes.
Which we always got to get on the show. No, I think he's going to be great.
I do
at
too.
At least, they're
It'll be
changing
good.
their ways a little bit.
I actually watch Hawaii Five-0 all the time.
Right,
so
right,
yeah,
right,
I think
right.
he's great.
Yeah, I was so bummed out when he wasn't come back to Hawaii 5-0. I was
Yeah.
like, man, that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Well, that means he's moving on to better things, hopefully. So,
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then Ian McShane, I know he's gonna be amazing.
Ian McShane. Yeah.
Yeah, always Ian McShane.
Hard to get him on anything now. He's so busy.
Right.
And
And then Mila Jovovich as the main villain, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
I was a little concerned when I saw David Harbour, the Stranger Things, and he was in the Whitey Bulger film with Johnny Depp. He tends to play characters that are weak of character, and a little, he's kind of. Mealy mouthed is
the
an
timid
old term.
big guy.
Timid big guy.
Yeah.
So when I did see, and I was worried that, because Perlman has that even as a in real life has the confidence, very cocky,
that
very
stature.
cocky guy, and he's
Yeah.
a big dude, and he has that giant jaw.
Right.
But I do admit probably that he's gotten a little bit too old for the role. Now he's played the arthritic biker in Sam Crow,
exactly.
and I don't know if anybody knows this, but he was also the Beast in Beauty and the Beast with a young Linda Hamilton
From way back in the day.
way back in the day.
Interesting.
I believe he won an Emmy for that role too. But I was a little worried about that. But when I saw the picture, now granted it's just one still, everybody's losing their minds over one
Right,
still,
right.
but it looked good, and he had the same look.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so
very
I think
close.
I think it's
to the
going to be
character.
great. It's too bad that Del Toro's not going to be involved. He has such a sweeping, wonderful color palette.
Oh yeah.
But his new movie looks good too, though.
Yeah,
The new trailer out for that one looks really
What was it?
amazing.
The Sound of Water?
Or The Body of Water or something?
What is
It's
it?
something water. Yeah.
It's basically based on Hellboy's other character.
Abe Sapien.
Right, Abe Sapien, yes.
But technically they can't say it because it belongs
To
to
Hellboy's.
Mike Mignola.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
I
But
wonder how
we all can tell it's Abe
How did they get the
Sapien.
license for it if they're not going to use the name? That's interesting.
There's a lot of Hollywood
Yeah,
inside
loopholes.
stuff, man. Yeah. Now Neil Marshall is the director, and I never saw his. I guess they're gonna call it the breakout role. I never saw The Descent. Did you guys see that?
I did see that one, yeah.
That was
Actually,
him.
it was pretty good.
That was him.
Yeah.
I heard it was extremely good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the better horror movies recently.
Yeah.
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 Interesting. Speaking of directors,
Yes.
the next one on the list is Star Wars. We talked
Yes.
about
The important
JJ
one.
Abrams coming back, and that's official now. He'll be back to direct Star Wars Episode 9, which I love because JJ Abrams, has made a huge comeback with Star Wars and
Star Trek.
Star Trek. So,
Well,
and of
or
course-
until Kathleen has a bad day and fires him too.
I mean, that's
True.
possible, but
He can always go back to Alias, I guess.
Sure.
Try
Love
to round up the
Alias.
group.
Yeah, he's got some great TV shows as well. But yeah, I thought he did a great job, even though a lot of people thought it was, a New Hope remade with number 7. I'm glad to see him back on board. He
Definitely.
He said after he finished it that he was disappointed that he didn't get to do the next one. So now he's back on board. I'm sure he's happier than a pig in.
Shit.
That's
yes.
right.
Well, it absolutely was a New Hope remade, but why not?
Yeah.
What are you complaining about?
Well, you had to get rid of the stain of the prequels. So you
Jar Jar?
had to harken back to that original.
The original magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It definitely recaptured the magic for sure. Because I remember watching it in the theaters, and I looked over to my little brother. We're like, whoa!
Yeah.
Like it recaptured the magic. Because
it's a different feeling than any of the prequels.
oh, definitely. Because I took my little brother to go watch the original 3 when he was a little kid when they re-released it.
Yeah.
And then we went back again to go watch the remastered version by Lucas, and we're like, why did you add all these
What
scenes,
happened?
bro?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
now to be fair, it's what he wanted back in those days, and he couldn't do it in the 70s.
Right, he didn't have
in
the
80s.
capabilities.
Yeah, he didn't have the capabilities. But so you guys absolutely won't give any credit to the others, to the
prequels?
the prequels.
What are you talking about? I don't understand that
what
question.
What are you talking about?
Can you
Well,
use that in a sentence?
yes.
There were some good things about the prequels, but the pros and cons list is definitely.
Are we talking about that
scaled.
one movie? I forgot what it's called. Was it with Han Cholo?
Rogue One? That one's not even. We don't even talk about that one. That's the one we don't talk about.
Yes, I can use it in a sentence. Misa thinking
no!
that Hayden Christensen is who ruined that,
Yes.
not George Lucas.
Agreed, and that's why I liked
Yeah.
Episode 1 better than 2 and 3. because Hayden Christensen wasn't in it.
Well, I like the fighting elements of the last 2 episodes, and I like the fact that we saw Boba Fett's dad actually in action.
Yeah,
and then explain why Boba Fett is the way he is, because he found his dad's head in the helmet.
Yeah,
kind of led him to the dark side.
There were some good moments. Mace Windu was an awesome character.
Oh yes, I like to see him come back. I know he can't, but be nice to see him come back. He's pretty badass.
Maybe we never saw him die.
Yes, technically
that's true. That's true. I never understood Jimmy Smith's character. He just pops up. He's in.
Sure does.
Yeah, he's
in Rogue One too, right?
Rogue
He's just
One,
like one scene. He's like, hey.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, Abrams is such a friend to Hollywood. I mean,
definitely.
I mean, everybody and their brothers
wants a role.
They don't even care if they're covered up by a mask.
Right. Yeah, totally.
What's his name? The fat cop from Heroes. The one that can read minds.
Yeah. Matt Parkman. But
Sorry, I didn't know
the Death Star.
That's the
Death Star
character's
controller.
But he's always with JJ Abrams. Like
that's right.
The first episode of Lost, he's the pilot that gets freaking killed. I'm like, right. Poor guy.
That's funny.
Like he's everywhere.
Yeah, they're best friends, and I recently saw. Oh God, what's that? Kevin Smith, and he did an interview with Abrams, and it's so funny because Abrams is now at the pinnacle of his career and at the pinnacle of Hollywood. I mean, what he says goes. He has
everybody's looking to him.
He has the strength of Bruckheimer and Bay and everybody else. What he says, that's it. Sure. And here's his 2 friends. I mean, Smith has this weird following. Of all. And he's a good friend to Hollywood as well. And then there's the guy. His other friend. And But why not? I mean, I would want a role if I was Abrams' friend.
Definitely.
I was like, cover me up and whatever.
I'll be an alien for a day.
I'll be one of the Hutts. Jesus.
Put me in the cantina. I'll play the instrument.
Do you guys know one of Abrams' original TV shows he directed? Like one of the old school ones?
Before Alias?
Yes.
I'm going to know this. Damn it.
What is it?
Go ahead.
Felicity.
Oh, I never watched that.
Wow. Yeah, I never watched it, but I was going through his IMDb. I'm like, Felicity?
Yeah, that seems strange in.
Yeah.
That's not you. Because I just know him from like action stuff and like, sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
But when I saw his IMDb of Felicity, I'm like, wait, what?
This can't be right.
I guess you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now, he got the double take for Alias. And then that was it. He was just crazy big. Yeah.
He had me hooked with Alias because at that time, I'd never seen a show like that. And you're like trying to connect all the dots. You're like, wait, what? What's going on? And you're like, oh, snap.
It had an overarching plot that a lot of shows didn't have.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then those many years later, that actor, Jennifer Garner's father in Alias, is now in Orville.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. That's
Full circle. Full circle.
Exactly. But, well, thanks, Adam.
Yep.
We'd love to talk about that stuff. That's the first time we've ever really delved into tech.
Yeah.
I usually avoid it because it's like,
only because we got to hate on the iPhone.
But it's always fun to tech talk, though.
Seriously.
Like every time there's new tech out.
We were going to have Jose on because he wanted to talk about the Cassini and the iPhone. So we'll get him on soon so he can back Sam up a little bit.
We'll get him in the studio. We'll get him in the studio for sure. But the Concierge Chronicle this week, this actually came from a request that I got. It was part of an email I received. And I've just arrived in Las Vegas. A lot of people, they come to Las Vegas, and they're bombarded, overwhelmed. And you know what? I agree. It can be overwhelming. The weirdest place that I've ever gone is Cabo, and we've talked about this before. And you get off the plane. And at that point, everything's normal. There's actually no advertising, no anything. And you acquire your bags, and then you do the red light, green light thing, which is what we've talked about, which is hysterical. And you're excited. It's like watching a slot machine. You're like, yay, I got the green. And then you're past, and you're in the country. And then there's these frosted. Have you guys been Cabo?
Nope. Not yet.
Okay. Then there's these frosted doors, just like the Orville, just like Star Trek. The whooshing sound doesn't make the sound, but and as you approach these doors, the doors open, and that's when you're confronted. You're just bombarded, all of your senses all at one time. There's posters and colors and little Hispanic people yelling at you with clipboards, and they all have different colored T-shirts and different logos and everything else, and you've made all these arrangements, and you have made an arrangement with like Limousine X or Shuttle X or Hotel X. And all these people are trying trying to get you on theirs, and you literally have no idea what's going on. You just, oh my
no, thank
God.
you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
So did they have the clipboard to get you to register to vote or to help them legalize weed? Which one was it for?
Whatever they're doing. I mean, they're all there for one reason or another, but they will then suddenly tell you that they're the guy that's picking you up for your hotel.
Nice.
Yeah. And the other trick that they use, which is really funny, is once you're in the country and get to your hotel and you're visiting like the town, other guys will approach you saying, yeah, I met you at the hotel, right? Because, white people have we can't tell the difference.
Because they all look the same.
Yeah. It's just like that. Well, I've been told that Las Vegas has that atmosphere to it when you first got here. So I thought, well, let's help them on the first arrival. We've all arrived here. We've all flown here, yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
I drove here. I didn't.
You
fly
drove here,
in.
okay.
Yeah.
Have you never flown into Vegas? Have you never gone through the whole process?
Well, I mean, when I do fly out and fly back in, I just bypass everything. Yeah. I'm like, just leave me alone. I just want to get back home.
Well, now you're used to it.
Yeah.
You get off the airplane, you just don't even look at the slot machines, the couture bags and the.
Exactly.
Everything else that's right in your face.
So we're a bit jaded. So yes, I understand. But you know what you're passing through now.
Well, plus working in dispatch, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, absolutely.
That next upcoming topic at zero level. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But a little bit of useless info to start off this little topic here. As of the end of 2015, it takes about a year to actually get all their new numbers. 45.4 million passengers.
Dang.
Wow.
That's a lot.
And 3.5 million of those are international.
Yeah.
And way too many of those are Germans that have no idea what's going on.
Really?
They're just crazy
Conventions?
Germans. No, they're just Germans.
No.
Germans love to travel.
The random tourist?
Yeah, they just love to travel.
With the lederhosen and their cameras and their little feather hats.
Lederhosen is for the club later. No, but 45.4 million passengers through what I consider, and I think my table mates here would consider a small airport. It's still very small, which is good. I don't want to expand. We just made a new tower, Tower 4.
That's international.
And
then Terminal 3.
In Terminal
3 and 4 international.
But when you get to Las Vegas, there is a Terminal 3, the Terminal 4. But when you disembark, and I miss this part. There's nobody there waiting for you. I used to go pick up your friends at the gate, and you used to pick up your girlfriends and your wives.
Yeah,
and your
you're not allowed to the gate anymore.
And there's nobody there, and and
then you're looking for baggage claim,
Yeah, you're looking for baggage claim. But take the time. Now Sam's going to wrinkle his nose up because we're from here, but take the time to look around. It's actually, you start your experience right there. You see the people leaving and what Vegas has done to them, so now they're going back home.
Yeah. You see their tears and sadness. You're like, that's not
some
going to be me.
Some of them don't have shirts on.
That's not going to be me.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm going to win.
Yeah, there's the pseudo Birkenstock hippie laying on 4 seats.
Right.
He's been destroyed by this town. And then there's some people are happy. Some people are happy to be leaving, but take a look at the people. It's a really interesting thing. And then I don't know if you guys are going to agree with this, but absolutely play a machine when you come.
You think?
I say you should play a machine when you come and go because strangely enough, I personally, and I have friends and family who have won coming in and going out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think that there's a lot of traffic going through those machines, so they're always kind of primed.
Yeah.
To hit.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Now don't get stuck
throw
there.
a few bucks in there.
Throw a couple bucks in there. But I think absolutely do it. And then you're in it. Your mind's in it. Yeah. And then you need to head for baggage. When you head for baggage, ours is pretty simple, I thought.
To get to baggage claim?
Well, to see the signs. I mean, there's only one direction.
Well, what's great about our baggage claim is it has banners and billboards for all the shows in Vegas, so it's very.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of lighting, a lot of huge billboards.
Plus the overhead big monitors with all the different shows playing.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll know where baggage claim is.
Yeah, our baggage claim is a show in and of itself.
For sure.
But when you get off, you're going to get off on C gates or D gates, depending on where you're coming you may have to get on the shuttle, the tram, which is great. It's easy.
Yeah, it's not that bad at all. It's fun, right?
No, it's fun. It's 20 seconds. It just shoots you over there. But it's right in the middle, right after the machines. Play a machine, get on the train. It's right there. Otherwise, you can walk the whole thing if you want to stretch your legs.
What about the Starbucks though? Do I get the Starbucks before the machine or after the machine?
Well, you can get one before or after the machine.
Okay, I just want to double check.
Because there's 3 Starbucks in the...
Yeah, there are 2 Starbucks options. One after you get off the before you get on the tram, after you get off the tram. So I mean, you can load up on your coffee. Okay. But once you get off the tram, you got a little bit of walking. You got a little escalator going down, and then you're in what Adam described as the baggage claim. Now, there are huge monitors and posters and people and everything else. But our baggage claim is pretty simple. It's carousels 1 through 14, I think they have now. And they're split in half, again with a Starbucks right in the middle there. Yeah, Sam's Starbucks.
Gotta have the coffee.
Gotta have the coffee. Now they're more expensive than the street Starbucks. Yes,
most definitely.
I believe.
Like
I believe add $1 to your favorite drink.
Yeah. It's a little bit marked up.
Yeah, it's typical airport. But find your baggage claim. There's signs that are very clear that say, "Here's where your bags are coming." Unfortunately, there's several flights on one carousel, which I always thought was a strange thing. Mm-hmm. But take a look at the ads. Take a look at the posters. Take a look at all the bachelorette parties that are happening, because you're going to see little
in T-shirts,
pods of girls everywhere. Yeah, and girls wearing penis tiaras, and it's a lot of fun to watch and sit.
People watching is amazing.
I think the funniest part is the mixture of the bachelorettes with the penis tiaras next to the family reunion folks. Yeah. We see all the folks wear the same shirt.
Yeah, same colored T-shirts.
For the family reunion in Vegas with the fanny packs. It's too funny because it's a melting pot. Like the Vegas airport, honestly, is a melting pot of every culture, every denomination, just into one little boom. Here you go. Mm-hmm. Enjoy.
Now, the hardest thing about it, and I've found this as my mother has traveled and I've gone to pick her up, is that because you can only meet them at baggage claim, the first time, I guess, you can meet them first at baggage claim. There are upwards of 4 different escalators they can come down depending on how they chose to get to baggage claim. My mother chooses a different one every time. I'm always waiting for her to come down the escalator, and she's right behind me.
And that's the other one.
And then what's really fun is to screw around with the limousine drivers because they get pissed. You set up your tablet or your phone with their name, and you sit there like the limousine drivers do with the name, Mrs. Kirkland, Mrs. Whoever, and they get mad at you, and I love that because they can't do anything about you. It's just like, well, screw you.
Right, because they're doing the same thing?
Yeah, and one guy actually, he said, you need to step behind me. I'm like, I'm here to pick up my mother's shitbag. And it's like, really? Are you really going to start off this right here? You know, you're driving a hack. Shut up. But once you're there in baggage claim, again, stop. Take a breath. It's exciting. It's a great place to be. You can see so many things, like Sam said. And then you can see what I refer to as the pseudo-celebs. They are not celebrities at all. But to a person maybe from the Midwest, from not the Midwest, like Idaho, or someplace out there, that you can watch these people. And I was recently at the airport, and we have bodybuilding competitions, or had them in town recently. And oh dear. Those are some pseudo-celebs right there. I mean, there's some giant, strange, tan people, and they're getting their bags. And what's funny is everybody has the same problems. Their bags didn't show. They have too many bags. The wife brought the too many bags, and they're trying to get rid. But if you're coming here to enjoy Las Vegas and you're not on a time frame, stop, look around, because that's going to be your first show. That's going to be your free, and it's free.
Definitely.
It's absolutely free.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But and then once you get your bags, hopefully Southwest didn't screw up as they normally do.
Right.
Especially from New York. I have flown from New York a couple of times, and what's funny is they've lost my bags. Yeah, they one way they lost my bag, which I thought was absolutely hysterical. But I'm home. When I got here from New York, I'm home. Wife's coming to pick me up. Everything's fine. But they forgot one of the train. When they drive around the baggage, one of them unhooked. He didn't see it and loaded up everything and sent the plane on. Well, there's our bags in this little car that didn't. It was like a little
just sitting there on the runway.
Yeah. And so everybody's just pissed. And I'm standing in line. I'm home. I don't care. I live 10 minutes from the airport. And these people are livid. And of course, I was flying Delta at the time, and Delta gave away a shaving kit. They were like, sorry, we lost your bag, and you're going to be naked for most of your trip. Here's a shaving kit.
Here you go.
To women and men.
You can brush your teeth now.
Yeah, right? Exactly. I thought it was cool. I still have some of the stuff.
Right.
But if you haven't lost your bags, you're coming here from L.A., Chris out there with Faces and Aces podcast, coming from LA. I don't know if he drives or not. Then you're going to be looking for transportation. And here's where we're going to rely on a little bit of Sam, but I'm going to tell you where to go. They always talk about the mysterious. Now, used to be several doors you can go out of. 14 used to be the limo door, Bell
Service,
CLS, limousines, Ambassador, everybody else. But now it's the mysterious 0. And everybody always asks me in advance. I can't tell you the number of emails and questions. What is and where is 0 level? And I always write back, something funny like, we don't have a 0 level.
Yeah, what
it stops at 1. No, 0 level is the very bottom level where all the transportation now picks up. And my note here, of course, is Ubers and Lyfts and cabs. Oh, my.
Yes.
Now, I didn't mention limousines because I consider them separate. And I honestly think you should spend the extra couple of bucks.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely separated because Uber and Lyft are in one section.
Yeah.
And then the
cabs.
The cabs.
I think cabs have 2 sections now. You can actually get a cab on one where there's that big intersection where there's that asshole with the bar that holds you back and then lets you go and holds you back and lets you go. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But I recommend, because a cab can be upwards of $25, $35 if he's taking advantage of you, or if there's traffic. Sometimes there actually is traffic.
Yeah.
But for $35 used to be in the day Bell Limousine, who are kind of the not the most flamboyant of limousines, but they're still a 6-pack or a town car. $35 to get your group there, and you got a private car and a limousine. And that's fun. Why not? Unless you got.
And isn't that a flat price too, instead of a
It's flat price. Used to be $35 flat, tip for the driver. 6-packs were limited to 6 people. I'm sure Sam's heard this. Can you get 9? No, you can't. You can't. And
then they always get mad when we do when we take the reservations and we ask how many luggage you're gonna have.
That's right.
Why does it matter? Because I'm gonna send you a vehicle. I need to have enough room for you and your luggage. Where there's 6 of us, what do you think? Well, ma'am, it could be either 2 luggage per person, 1 per person. I need to know so I can be ready. And I explained to him, like, if you don't tell me the correct number, that's fine. But the day we pick you up, if there's any altercations, you will be charged for it. Yeah. So basically, I'm trying to explain to him, if you lie to me, that's fine, but I'm going to charge you for it.
Right. Yeah. When we find out you're going to need 2 cars anyway.
Yeah.
And we'll
And we've seen, everybody here in Las Vegas, and I'm sure we've seen the drivers that have made real efforts with the bungee cords, and they've got, especially for European travelers who have steam trunks. For
the company I used to work for, it was 2 things. Every limo that went out either already had a bungee cord in the back, in the back trunk, or some of the drivers would bring their own because they want a stronger one to hold on.
Right.
Yeah. And what people don't understand is that it may be a 6-pack, 9-pack, 10-pack, whatever, but if it's a standard limousine, the trunk's really no bigger.
No.
It's a caddy trunk. Right. It's a couple, 3 dead bodies and a suitcase. That's about it.
You're better off with the carry-ons.
Yeah, exactly. Or don't be a dick and put the bag on your lap when you're sitting in the limousine. So either way, but 0 level, you're gonna go out of baggage, and you're gonna go down. If you look at it, if you're coming out of baggage and you see a crosswalk and a guy in a little vest who looks like he's made a serious vocational error, you are on the wrong level. Go down 1, okay, and then you're gonna see all the options. You're gonna see the cab line, which is usually horrifyingly long, depending on when you're there, or there's nobody there at all. And then, like Sam said, as normal, Uber and Lyft have been shoved off to the side, like so much to try.
Like the redheaded stepchild.
Yes, the redheaded stepchild. Totally. That is the Uber and Lyft. But very convenient. I have to say, if you've made arrangements for those, it's right there.
Okay. Oh,
yeah. So there's not a lot of battle.
Easy to get to.
Yeah. So if you love Uber and Lyft, hey, it's right there to the right. You go down and then make a right, and there you're there. And then there's the limousine transport, which you can still do person-to-person limousine arrangements. You can say, hey, and there's no. I don't think it's allowed. Well, it's definitely not allowed, but I don't think there's really a big issue about them haggling. I mean, it's $35, or if you get a 9-pack or 10-pack, it's a little bit more. But I think you feel safe to go down to 0, get a limousine, and it's going to be this much.
Well, each company is different because the way it works, depending on what company you are, you either send limos or you'll send out SUV, which will have more room. And then they do explain to the guests, like, what's the best way to explain it? There's a door person. Like,
yes,
each company will have their own door person, a representative to say, hey, do you need a ride?
Right.
Well, here's my limo or here's my SUV, and these are the two prices. Which one do you want?
Yes.
Go and take that, and don't forget to take care of your driver, tip the driver out.
Setup guy.
Yeah, the setup guy. And then usually the setup guy gets a little cut from the driver guy, too, to get the business going. Right. But the place I used to work for, we'd send out 4 SUVs and only 2 limos because the limos are barely used. Folks rather use SUV because of the compartment in the back, the trunk, for more luggage. Right. So it was a pretty good deal. Yeah. For sure.
Well, yeah, and of course I'm skipping one. Well, maybe it's crucial. Also on Zero Level, you're going to find all your shuttles. Yes. Your basic Beltran shuttles, your hotel sponsored shuttles,
the timeshare shuttles. They're there too. Was it the Tahiti or something?
Tahiti Village.
Thank you.
Yeah, so they're all there too. But one thing I can say, being a relatively seasoned traveler, Las Vegas is very similar to a lot of the places that I have visited in the United States and abroad. It can be intimidating, but what I was saying earlier, stop and breathe and look around. That is also helpful to you as a traveler.
Yeah, take it all in.
Yeah, take it all in. Then you can relax and not be nervous. Don't ever be afraid to walk up and talk to somebody. They may not be the nicest folks in the world,
but they'll still help you.
They'll help you. We have a lot of New York transplants, so they have that New York edge to them, but they get over themselves and they'll help you. But I think Las Vegas is still pretty clear now that Zero Level is all transportation level. So limousines, shuttles, Ubers, Lyfts, cabs, they're all right there. Don't worry about it. But you're looking at about anywhere between $15 and $50, and that's including tip. But please do tip everybody, even your shuttle driver. Give him a couple bucks.
Yeah, $1 or $2 is going to help him out to make his day.
Because it may be a small town, it may be a simply gridded town, but as with most towns, we have horrendous traffic because we're a tourist destination, and it's a pain in the ass.
And don't forget, it's going to get even worse with the Raider Stadium coming in.
That's right. Just the traffic's going to be bad because of the Raiders, right, Sam?
I'm saying it's going to get worse because the congestion back there behind Mandalay Bay, it's just going to get horrible. It's going to get worse.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if they make a freeway entrance or something. They've got to improve this somehow.
They have to make something.
I know.
It's not going to be easy getting 80,000 people out of there.
Exactly.
Well, from the way you explain it, it sounds like Vegas Airport is way less overwhelming than Cabo.
Oh my God! I can't even tell you how strange that is. I mean, I've been there several times now, so I can be like what you said and be like you and just just push past and
leave me alone.
I got my guy over here. Just go away. But it really is an assault on your senses. You're like, holy shit! Am I okay? And they're cops, and the cops in Mexico. It's not like our cops. I mean, nothing is holstered. I mean, they've got their guns, the AR-15s. They're ready to go, and but it really is. And when those Star Trek doors open, and you got your green and you're out, and there it is, and you're just wide-eyed, and you're like, oh my God, I have no idea what's going on. And if you've made, well, I'm telling you now, you can come to Vegas with no arrangements and be fine.
Oh yeah, you'll be set.
Don't go to Cabo with no arrangements because you're going out
by 17 people trying to get you something.
All right, duly noted, Adam. No arrangements. Okay?
Yeah. And it's it's Cabo. Don't kid yourself. It's Mexico. It may be the Caribbean-ish Mexico, but it's Mexico. So, I mean, it's Rosarito. I mean, it's got flavors of that, which is right across the border. And it's absolutely got flavors of TJ, which I've been to a couple of times in college.
Oh, you've been to the donkey show?
Oh, I'm kidding. No, I've been asked to purchase a donkey.
What?
Yeah. When my college roommate and I crossed over the border, we were going to have some fun. And I was this little kid comes over at first and he tries to sell me a chicken. I don't want a chicken. I'm fine. I don't need any chickens. And then the kid brings over a donkey and he offers to sell me this poor little donkey.
Are you serious?
absolutely.
This is crazy.
And I was like, why do you think I need a donkey? And then my roommate was like, stop talking to him. Stop talking. And I was like, so yeah. So Cabo.
Don't stare him in the eyes.
Cabo has shades of TJ, so don't let that scare you. But Las Vegas is not scary. We're vets. I've been here 26 years. Come here, but stop. Take a look around, adjust. It's going to be a cool visit. I swear to God, it's going to be so fun. But play a machine on your way out. So
and don't forget, when you're in Vegas, folks, take a lot of pictures of your food and send to Jamey, okay? He loves pictures of your food.
That's right.
He loves it a lot.
That's right. I love it.
We'll give you his phone number at the bottom.
Picture. You know what? Photographs.
We'll put the email right here. Okay.
You know, the iPhone 10X, whatever you want to call it. I think that is going to usher in a new... just a new way of thinking about photographs. I personally, as a professional commercial photographer, I feel that the phones have started to remove the meaning from photographs. And I think the iPhone 10 is going to
further that. And it scares me.
Why just iPhone 10? Why can't it be your phones too, though? Your phone take pictures.
Yes, but I mean that's the newest one out. I think they're all capable of making photography meaningless. There's a lot of people going to argue with me, but as a photographer, I think that photographs are being there's just no meaning anymore. I can go to Red Rock Canyon, beautiful place, take a picture, and honestly, there's been a million people there with their phones already.
Taking the same pictures different phones that's not iPhone.
Yeah. Used to be in the day, the professional photographers were separated by one simple thing. Take away the mastery of photography. They were separated by the fact that they went there. They were the Nat Geo guys in the middle of the swamp taking a picture of that snake.
But now almost everybody can be a Nat Geo
Now everybody
guy.
can be there. I mean, Tibet used to be a place you can't go. Now I see people with the goddamn selfies. No. No.
No, I know what you mean though, because my little brother's a photographer too, and like there's a little more magic when you take pictures from the actual camera itself. Yes. Than a cell phone. You know
when you've had time to set it up and light it.
Yeah,
and,
there's like a lot of hard work into it. So I understand where you come from that part big time. Because like even today, he's doing a photo shoot, and of course, he's in the setup in the garage, got the background ready to go.
Backdrop.
Got
his lighting stands.
Lighting stands, and instead of just here, let me take a picture of it. It's like there's a difference. I wish everyone would understand that, especially the newer generation. Like appreciate the artistry and the mastery of photography itself, especially when you do it old school style, we have to develop the photo itself.
Oh my gosh,
back in the studios.
That's
with
almost
the lights
unheard of.
Yeah, nobody has a dark room.
Like those techniques, people are gonna be like, what do you mean?
Yeah, they're ancient now.
See, I equate it to something very simple. If you go decades back, when people used to kids had to do division, longhand division, and things like that, and then the calculator showed up. Guess what happened to longhand division?
It went away.
Okay.
Gone.
Now, that's exactly what the cell phone is doing.
Spell check.
Spell check. No one really knows how that camera is taking a picture.
Is there
or the math involved?
Is there a gear grinder section for spell check? Because I really appreciate that.
Yeah, you like that?
Seriously, spell check.
Spell check's ruining people. Nobody knows how to spell anymore. Nobody knows how to put a sentence together.
Yeah.
It really hurts my feelings. Yeah. Like, where's your comma? Can you please put in a comma or a period?
Right. I know, but
nothing but run-on sentences here. Jesus.
Exactly.
Have to decipher like each individuals that you talk to. Like they're all different when it comes to texting, right?
Yeah.
So you have to decipher how their style of texting is. Mm-hmm. They have to decipher if it's sarcasm, if it's honesty, or if it's like something different. You're like trying to understand the tone,
the inflection.
And I'm trying to like explain to people like sometimes when it comes to texting, the tone doesn't carry over or could be carried the wrong way. So sometimes a good old phone call is easier, because you can hear the tone right away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I'm still made fun of because I feel that no matter how you utilize the English language, maybe texting or whatever, you should use it correctly. I don't believe in truncating things. I don't believe in putting run-on sentences like Adam said. I believe like Boost Mobile is the one that gives me a pain in my heart. And they had an entire commercial marketing campaign based on a grammatical error. Where are you at? No, where are you?
Where are you?
Yeah, and people make fun of me for texting incorrect English. That's a whole different subject, but it actually brings me to gear grinders and working. And Adam knows this. I don't know if Sam quite knows this because his jobs have been involved with being not in the public eye working per se. People can't interrupt him other than interrupting him. But see, for us, I had this happen yesterday.
I was gonna say,
this
must be like every week for you.
Every week, and I have my gear on the tripod, and I'm lining up, and I'm trying to adjust for lighting, and trying to do this and exposure, and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna bore you with photography, but here's this. I get to my shot, I grab my remote, I look into my viewfinder. I use live view for anybody who knows what that is, and there's Schmucko in front of my camera. I get nothing but this guy's shirt. And I look up from my camera and I'm like, dude, do you
polishing a spoon, right?
Do you see the practically $20,000 of equipment? I mean, is there heat on your neck? I mean, is there anything that tells you that I'm working? No, because he's polishing the fuck out of the spoon.
That's right.
Because he's
his job
a
to
union
do.
worker.
Yeah.
That's right. He's gonna milk that until he goes home. And see that I don't know if you've ever had that, Sam, where you're actively in the public working, trying to do stuff.
Yes. When we do. When I was at the Players Club and we were doing promotions, or I have to walk guests to the machines, I'm trying to find the right machine to use, and then I always get blocked by that tourist doing this.
Yes.
Just taking a video of the casino.
Totally unaware of
or
you.
taking pictures.
Exactly.
Right? Even though you're 6'7".
Yeah, and I'm trying to politely be, I'm trying excuse me, can I please get through?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I didn't know. I'm like, of course you don't, because you're staring at the ceiling for 5 minutes straight.
I know, and it's just astounding because it's clear when someone with tech in their hands, it's clear they're doing something. Now, I can't say everybody. Like yesterday, I was taking a photograph of this particular architectural area at the Cosmopolitan, and some people were very conscientious of it. And I think mainly because they don't want their picture taken.
Yeah.
And they come to a dead stop, and they
like,
ask
oh my God.
me.
Then you got the deer in the
They
headlights,
look at
right?
me, and I'm like, yep, you can go. Go ahead. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. And other people just trounce right on through because they're more important than anybody else around them.
Right.
Other people... And they clearly know. They clearly know what they're doing. And and we've discussed this and we're going to have this another episode. Then I have that guy who has to stand in front and tell me to take a picture of him
while you're doing it,
for whatever reason. And I have become again I careen towards 50, as I've said many times, rude. Like, no. I'm working. Get away from me. Get away. Get out. I mean, what are you doing? Do you think I go to your place of business, wherever it may be? This guy clearly worked as a part-time cashier at the Gap, and irritate you and bother you. No, I don't do that. I get my purchase and I leave. I'm working. Do you guys? Now, Adam actually works for and with me, and he.
I've definitely seen this before.
Yes, and he applies his services with other companies, and I'm sure he's had that individually and as a group with me.
You don't know how many times I've had to go and we'd be doing video shoots, and you have to go and tell this group of people right here, hey, can you shut up? Mm-hmm. We're obviously videoing here.
Yeah.
Can you guys move your conversation down the road?
Yeah.
Now,
not to say that I don't enjoy. Periodically, you look on YouTube and you see those, presentations where it says disastrous newscasts, and they have the guy in Las Vegas come up behind the newscaster and pretend to porker.
Yeah.
Of course that brings a laugh.
Actually, that happened during the one of the interviews for Hurricane Irma. Some guy ran up to a caster, and he yelled "fuck her in the pussy." I was like, "Of course it's gonna happen. Of course it happened." And the poor newscast guy's like, "So yes, Hurricane Irma just came through," and he's like talking about the disaster, and it's like, poor guy.
And then he's gonna reset.
Yeah,
you can't because it's live.
Yeah. And see, strangely enough, I have a very unique job. It changes almost every day. I take a new photograph or I produce a new film almost every, month or week. And there's always something new. And that's really exciting. I'm a lucky person for that. I get to do this podcast and produce this with the guys. But at the same time, it's still my job. And there are times I'm having a day. Yeah. It's my job. Yeah. I'd like to leave my job and come back home, but here's this guy. And I've talked about this before, the guy that wants to talk about my camera.
Oh, the gearhead.
Great.
I love that guy.
How many pixels you running? And my answer is always, Adam will laugh, one. Just one big one.
That's right.
And they look at me like I'm serious.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Oh,
really?
wow.
I thought
one was better.
No, I thought one of his favorite people was the stand in and out of the elevator. The one that can't make up their mind.
Oh my
If they're
God,
gonna get on or
yes.
get off the elevator.
Yeah.
And you have all that gear, and you're like, can you please make up your choice?
Again, you're like, you don't see
Yeah.
this?
A or B. A or B.
Yes, A or B. Now, I have a friend of mine that taught me something, and it has worked to a T. And it doesn't matter if he has just his camera or a large gear belt or a bag or whatever he's rolling, or even nothing. We have a happenstance here in Las Vegas that you'll hear if you wait and wait and you just prick your ears up a little bit, you'll hear it, and you'll hear it. And I got to back off from the mic. Watch the cart, sir. And he does that now. And usually watch the cart usually is the poor food and beverage people bringing, restocking a bar. And they're looking for all the Heinekens to fall off the top of this cart. And it works. It works. People are scared. They were like, cart. Yes. Oh, God.
They're all startled. Like, what?
Yes,
What's going on?
Let me get out of the way of
Yeah,
that.
when injury is a possibility, people will move.
It's almost like, Adam, it's almost like Metal Gear Solid when the exclamation point goes up.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. So
Now I got to pay attention.
So to wrap up this gear grinder, please, if you see people working and you're not part of their daily work, don't go in front of them, don't go behind them, don't go to the side of them. Let them do their work.
Get out of their way.
That's right.
Wait, are you saying like something about logic and common sense, like let someone actually do their job?
No, I'm afraid to use common sense because I'm
Nobody
not.
has any.
I have no.
Don't worry, me and Adam, we understand
I
common
have.
sense.
Yeah, well, I have.
Or the
Well,
few.
I now have officially 2 supporters.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna make a campaign for
Right.
common sense.
That's
We're
right.
bringing back common
It's gonna
sense.
be the new
That's
thing.
right. Now I'm gonna before I finish up with Area 52, I got some cool ones actually. I'm gonna loop it back to the iPhone 10X, whatever we call it, and Seth Meyers on one of his I enjoy
Hilarious.
I enjoy his
Hilarious.
news, his fake news. I enjoy his news, but he was talking about the iPhone X, and he made the announcement that iPhone X is now going to have a special edition, the iPhone 10, and it's going to offer 1 extra hour of battery life. and he said, "Wow." 3 hours of battery life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was good. I didn't mention that, but
How much for that?
The funniest
extra
one
hour.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The funniest one that I've seen, and Adam tagged me on, was John Cena. He tweeted, well, what do I do now?
He's like, because his tagline's, you can't see me.
Oh, right.
Now
That's
it's got the
tagline,
facial
yeah.
ID, right?
Yes.
He's like, what am I going to do?
That's right. That's right. I love that. I love that. They actually had a meme on that about the facial recognition, and it was why did I forget his name? Jim Carrey, and when he used to do the Juice Man. He was a character.
Back at
And
SNL?
and he used to grind up like a dead rat in a shoe and an orange and drink it, and he goes, "Ha! I'm invisible." And it was hysterical. Then they had a meme for that for the new iPhone thing. And I think it's going to be a disaster, but whatever. Because people say that if you have just the slightest dirt on your face, or girls change their makeup, it won't
The makeup
recognize
thing.
you.
I've seen the makeup thing.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. But Area 52, I got a couple of cool ones. We have very near to us many different townships, Henderson, Summerlin, Green Valley, and we have a place called Boulder City. Well, many of you may not know that Boulder City is one of 2 towns in Nevada where gambling is illegal. The other one is Panaca, I think it's Panaca. And originally, this town, Panaca, was created to house the workers of Hoover Dam. It literally was created and then was maintained, and it's still there, but gambling is illegal from that time. So the men that were working on that were only had drinking and
whoring.
prostitutes. Yeah,
They had to go into Vegas like 10 miles to do the gambling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And as we've already discussed, a lot of the casinos actually aren't in Las Vegas. They're in Paradise. But Boulder City is a very cool town right off as you go towards the Hoover Dam. It's Boulder City. Yeah. They have a really great old town, like cobblestones.
Oh, yeah, old
ice
school.
cream stores.
And that diner?
Then the diner.
Yes,
they
that's
have
my
a wonderful
favorite.
diner.
That's my favorite.
It scares me though, the hipsters.
Of course,
all moving
They're
now.
there. They're there. I see guys with short pants
the
and beards.
last time I was there, I remember one of my friends went for a running marathon, and we stopped by to the diner to get some breakfast. And, we're about to start eating our food. We look around, and, of course, everyone's taking pictures. And that's because the diner itself was featured on the Triple D show with Guy Fieri.
Yeah, diners, drive-ins, and dives.
So everyone started taking pictures of their food.
Yeah,
and my first
post that they're famous too now.
Well, no, my first thing to do is always look at the staff first, see the reaction, and I looked at
eyes rolling everywhere. Right,
I looked at the staff right away, and everybody just the simple eye roll or the
why do these people do that? Here's your food.
I'm out of here.
Can you?
Yeah.
But it is a great place to go. It's a fun sort of, and you can see things from yesteryear of Las Vegas. So
and a lot of homemade stuff too.
Yeah,
like a lot of knickknacks, and it feels like a small town because like it reminds me of the small towns I used to live in Florida too, where it's like just one city street. You know, everybody kind of knows everybody, and they're very polite. The folks are very polite.
Yeah. So much so I don't know what to do with that. What do you want? What do you mean? Hello. You know. But Boulder City.
Also, side note on Boulder City, I actually did some skydiving out of there.
Oh, really?
So yeah, you
nice.
You can jump out of planes there too.
Now, did you do tandem or
you have to
jump
do
and
tandem.
rip?
You have to go through a lot of classes to jump solo.
Yeah.
The
20-minute video in the little shed.
Well, that's to jump tandem. You have to do the 20-minute video. To jump by yourself, though,
it's a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more work.
Now, how many times have you?
Just the once.
And you did. It was tandem.
Yeah, it was tandem.
Okay.
It was fun though.
Now, was that weird having a dude strapped to your back?
Yes and no. They only really strap to you right before they jump out.
Yeah.
And then by then you don't even realize you're just looking down.
Okay.
So
right.
Is there anyone tall enough to help me tandem skydive?
No, you're fucked.
Okay, cool.
You don't have to worry about that.
No.
I'll use umbrella. I'll use umbrella.
3 little dudes strapped to his back jumping out of the plane.
It sounds like a Cirque du Soleil show now.
Oh man, Sam.
But secondly, in Area 52, in 1957, at the Dunes Casino, which is now the Bellagio Hotel. So incredibly different. The Dunes was just a very simple tower with a little bitty hotel. Yeah. They imploded that. But at the Dunes was the first topless showgirl show on the Las Vegas Strip called Minsky's Follies.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that was that the 90s when the Dunes went down?
90s.
Imploded it?
90, 92, 93, I believe.
I want to say that I remember watching that one.
Yeah. Have either of you ever been to one of the implosions?
No.
Like physically been?
No.
I've been to the one that filmed Rush Hour 2 before they imploded.
Okay.
And they called it like the Red Dragon or something.
The Red Dragon, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they imploded that one, but I remember being there because I just came to Vegas. I was like, oh man, that's cool. Yeah.
Rush Hour.
Yeah.
I can tell you the first month in Vegas, I never been so burnt out on buffets before. Because like my parents just came out to Vegas like, oh, let's go check this buffet out. Let's go check that buffet out. And I was like, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. You guys remember that cheap buffet that used to be next to what's Monte Carlo?
Mm-hmm.
At the boardwalk?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, my parents would want to go
Had that a
there.
few times.
Hit that a few times, and man, I regret it so bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the Rio, huh?
Well, to be fair, you get what you paid for,
right?
And it was $5
and super cheap.
Now
it's like Cece's Pizza.
The boardwalk was Holiday Inn.
I did not know that.
Yes, Holiday Inn.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
And I believe they had special dispensation to have that little half-ass casino out front. They had like 4 games.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Holiday Inn. Yeah.
But now it's a Walgreens, right? They took it
It
down.
is a Walgreens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I wish I had
good old Walgreens.
I wish I had an eighth of what they pull in at Walgreens right there. Oh yeah, I think that Walgreens, that CVS, and that Denny's, which are all basically right in the same quad.
Oh yeah, they're pulling.
They're the number one in their companies.
Right.
Yeah, in dollars pulled in.
And like, even like a few streets down, there's also another Walgreens now by Treasure Island too.
Yes, Treasure Island.
It's a new Starbucks, right? Walgreens
coming to a corner near
you. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And I did notice, for those of you for the veterans here, when you come from the west side off the freeway, and you can get off on Spring Mountain Road, which takes you directly to the Treasure Island or Mirage. But if you're passing through that and going across the strip to the Venetian, it's one of the many ways you can get to Venetian. There's a street light at Las Vegas Boulevard, and Treasure Island Hotel is right there.
Yes.
And many times during the day, it would be like a sewer pipe had opened up and you wanted to die.
Oh, no.
Yes.
It was horrifying. They fixed it.
Oh, thank God.
It is now fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever they did, they made all these new arrangements reinforcements, and so no longer the side smell of Treasure Island.
But however, the road itself is still bad because
it is.
They never fixed the lining.
Yeah, I know.
So when you're driving, you're like trying to left, right, middle. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll follow this guy.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's going the right way too, or else we're all
He's
gonna
following
crash.
one guy.
Yeah.
You're following him.
Yeah.
Blind leading the blind.
I suggest, like I do for any traveling, but California people, I'm going to have to, tell them not to ignore this response. But I would say not to drive. You don't need to drive in Las Vegas. There's something that will take you to everything that you want to get to. Don't drive. It's a pain in the ass. It's awful.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Or call up your friend, have him pick you up.
Yeah, that's right. Call up Sam. But now we have a friend. I'm not going to mention his name. I think we already mentioned his name. But I'm calling you out, Hoover.
The other one.
The other Hoover, the younger Hoover. You're getting on this show. We want to talk to an actual Lyft driver. I have so many questions.
Yeah. I'm sure he can detail some of those little back alley parking lots he's got to go to.
I want to get the details of being a Lyft driver in Las Vegas. I'm going to break this story. We're going to break this story. And we're going to get him on this show. He doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't like his voice. He doesn't need to listen or be on camera. Right. So he can be right over there.
Just need the story.
That's right. We have a couch in the studio. It's right there. Just
What are you trying to find out from the Lyft drivers?
I just
the
want
day-to-day.
Everything. What happens? What a day in
Is
the
it
life?
worth it? Yeah,
a day in the life.
Because our friend Phil, he drives for Uber, pretty good money.
Right.
Like his prime time is during dinner hours and then nightclub hours, and his route he tried to stay in Chinatown where all the tourists because he makes a quick buck. It's
Sure
so
he does,
easy.
yeah.
Like he picks up from one restaurant, drops off, and then that restaurant, someone there needs to ride back. It's like it's
just a little circle. Yeah.
It's the easiest thing he's ever done.
I'll have to I'll have to see if
Hoover.
Hoover.
The other Hoover.
Has he done Chinatown? That's a good idea.
Yeah, and then he also does a couple rides. Like the way he does it, his goal is not to go backwards. So, say if he has to go to Henderson, he'll try to find a ride in Henderson that wants to go back to the other side of town too. So it's worth his drive. Like every mileage counts.
So he's not going to Henderson, having to come back to a spot and then wait for another one and then go out and come back and go out and come
back.
So
he tries to make sure every single mileage actually counts in his favor, which is pretty good. And then there's been a couple times where he has picked up ladies at the night to go drop them off.
Vampires.
That's right.
Sure. Yeah. Totally. Red light vampires.
Cool. Well, we're definitely going to get one of those guys on because I've got questions. I've got questions.
Okay.
I need to talk to somebody. But thanks for everybody listening. For Adam and Sam, this is Jamey. Stay tuned on the next show launches on the 26th, I believe. Yes.
Okay. I believe you.
And then I have a special announcement on the 26th regarding the schedule for the Pod Bay Door show. We're going to go on a couple-week hiatus. However, I may have a special announcement of mini shows between that time. But stay tuned. Thanks for everybody coming in. We will see you next Tuesday. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks to everyone listening and watching. You can catch the Pod Bay Door on the Podbean app or any of your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and Stitcher Radio. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast. Please download, like, and subscribe. Our social connectivity screen is coming up. Check in with us on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. The Pod Bay Door is closed and talent is out. Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We would love to hear your show suggestions and comments. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please click to subscribe. You can also connect with us on Facebook using @PBD Podcast, on Twitter using @TPBD Podcast, and on WordPress at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com.